Hi and welcome back to the channel. Well, if it's your first time here, my name's Andrew and I'd like to thank you for joining me. If it's not your first time here, it's still Andrew, as you already know, and I'd like to thank you for coming back. So you've recently bought, or you're thinking about getting, a new DJI Neo 2, and obviously you want to protect your investment. Now, unlike other DJI drones, the DJI Neo 2 doesn't come with its own carrying case. So it will mean that you're going to have to go out and buy something to keep the drone safe and protected. So I've been looking at different cases, and again I reached out to StartRC and they supplied me with a waterproof hard case for the DJI Neo 2, which is specifically designed to keep the drone nice, safe and secure. So I'm going to go through it with you today, do the unboxing and see exactly what you get for your money. So I'm going to look at the outside of the case first. Well, as you can see, it is fully robust. It's got this hard plastic case. So on the front of the case you can see that you've got a pressure valve. So that means if you are travelling with your drone on an airplane, it's not going to be affected by any cabin pressure changes. And also the case itself is IP67 waterproof and dustproof. So again, it means not going to get any water ingress or any dust ingress into the case, which could affect something like the motors of the drone. So your drone is going to stay nice, secure, dry inside the case. Now, one of the things I really like about the StartRC cases, especially the waterproof cases, is the locking mechanism on the front of the case. It's not possible to actually just pull and open the case like that. You need to press down, open the case up and do that. So the drone is going to be totally secure inside the case. There's no way that it's going to accidentally open, the drone's going to fall out and get damaged. The locking mechanism is really, really robust. Now, another security feature they got on the case is next to the locks, they've got space there where you can actually put a padlock on both sides of the case. So it means if you are worried about security or you go in somewhere where you think the drone may be stolen, you can always lock the case up securely, and that's going to add another level of protection to the drone. And also on the outside of the case, you've got a really sturdy carrying handle, and that's well riveted into the plastic case itself. The hinges at the rear have got multiple connection points, so again, that's really, really secure. Plus you've got the attachment there for putting on a carrying strap. So if you don't want to use the handle, then you've got the option of attaching the carrying strap, which comes with the case, and that's going to make it more comfortable for you to wear if you are traveling around. Now, the case itself has a hard exterior outer shell, and that's made from polypropylene. So that means it's going to give you really good shock and impact resistance when you are traveling from place to place with your drone. Now, if you've seen any of my other videos, you know that I live close to the beach. Now, having a case which is going to be both waterproof and dustproof is a necessity for me. Plus, as you can tell by my accent, which is not AI generated, as some of you have speculated, I live in Wales. And Wales does tend to be very wet. So the weather can change instantly throughout the course of the day. So I do need a case where if it does change dramatically and it does start raining, I know I can put the drone away and it's going to be safe and secure and dry. And this case does exactly that. So inside the case you've also got your carrying strap, and that's really well made and secure. And then if you want to attach this to the case, it is simply a matter of just sliding in the buckles onto the side of the case, and then as you lock the case, they lock in place as well, and it's not going anywhere. But the most important thing obviously is going to be the inside of the case and the protection that it does offer the drone. So when you open the case, you can see that you have got the foam inserts, and they are specifically cut to the size of the drone itself. So you know that the drone's going to fit into those inserts and it's not going to move about and it's not going to get damaged in transit. Now, if you're like me and you bought the drone with the Wi-Fi antenna, you need to have a case which isn't going to damage these when the lid's closed. And this case is perfect for that. Because when the drone actually sits into the foam inserts, the drone sits low enough so the antenna don't actually peak up lower than the foam padding. So you know you're not going to get any damage to the drone once the lid is closed. Now, not only have you got the place for the drone to sit, but you've also got a place for the controller. And it doesn't matter which controller you got, whether or not you got the RCN3 or the RC2, because the foam inserts will take both controllers. So you can adjust the layout of the foam to make sure that you've got the best fit for whichever controller you're using. So for me, I'm using the RC2, so it just means I take out both sets of inserts and then the controller is going to sit in there nice and snug. So the case itself doesn't skimp on the storage capacity either, especially when it comes to the batteries. So you've got room for 7 batteries in total. You've got the one on the drone, you've got 3 separate individual pockets to put 3 other batteries in, as well as having a space dedicated for the battery charger and the 3 batteries. So as I said, you can fit 7 batteries into the case, which is ideal considering that the batteries only last maybe 10-12 minutes on the Neo 2. So this means you could have at least an hour and 10 minutes worth of battery storage within the case. Plus you've got a separate section on the side which is useful for storing cables or any other adapters you want to take with you. Now, in order to keep the weight down as well as maximise storage capacity of the case, StartRC have also included a number of hidden sections both underneath the controller and underneath the drone itself. So there's going to be plenty of storage facilities for things like ND filters, cleaning cloths or spare propellers should you want to take them in the case with you, which is always a good idea. So one drawback of the case is that if you do have the motion fly mode pack, then you're not going to have the cutouts for the goggles or the RC remote. So it is basically aimed more at people who have the fly mode combo or who started off with the initial drone and then going to build up their accessories like extra batteries, that type of thing. So ultimately, is the case going to be right for you? Well, if you're someone like me who lives in an environment where the weather can change constantly, where it's going to be up against harsh conditions such as a lot of sand, dust, rain, that type of thing, then the case is going to be absolutely ideal. As I said earlier, it's shockproof, it's waterproof, it's sturdy, you're not going to get any water ingress. It's going to be the ideal case for going out in tougher environments. And this is the point where I just want to say that if you are finding it useful, if you could do the like, subscribe and the notification bell, that would be really appreciated. And as you can see, as I said, with the strength of the case earlier, it's big enough and strong enough for me to stand on. And if you do the like and subscribe, then hopefully, like I said in my other videos, I'll be able to afford a long pair of trousers by the time January comes. So that would be greatly appreciated too. But of course you need to see it in action. I'm also going to subject it to 20 minutes underneath a hose pipe, just to make sure that it does stay waterproof as it suggests. And I got no doubt that it's going to, because the other cases I've tried have always been exactly the same, because the level of waterproof ability is absolutely phenomenal. And then I'll come back to you and let you know how it went on. So I'm down the beach and I'm just going to try it out here, obviously with the sand and everything. So in situations like this, it is ideal because you know, even with the spray coming on or the dust and the sand blowing, nothing's going to actually get into the case. And there is a storm coming in. So this is what I mean when I say that the weather can change quite dramatically in Wales. And this is exactly what I mean about the weather changing, because the rain's come down now, but the drone is still nice, safe, dry and secure in the box. So here's a real world example. It's just started pouring on with rain and I was a good 10 minutes away from the car. So I've walked back and well, you can see that the case is soaking, but the drone is still bone dry. Just goes to show how good this case is. Okay, so as you can see, I've got my own DJI Neo 2 actually in the case, along with my controller, my batteries. I would say that I did buy the Neo 2 myself. It wasn't supplied by DJI, so it is all my own equipment. And if I wasn't 100% sure of this case, I wouldn't be doing this test. So I'm going to lock it up. And then I'm just going to get the hose pipe and soak it for the next 20 minutes. Okay, so that's the 20 minutes done. So I'm just going to leave it here while I go and get some paper to dry it off. Right, okay, so let's dry it off. So you can see it's been well soaked. that's the majority of the water off, and let's have a look inside. So you can see now there's been no water ingress whatsoever into the case, and that's been under a hose pipe for the last 20 minutes. Everything is still bone dry inside the case itself. So if you are looking for a really durable, hard-wearing, impact-resistant, water-resistant, dust-resistant case with everything inside the case being kept securely because of well-designed foam cutouts that's going to keep the drone safe, it's not going to rattle about, and it's also going to give you pressure protection if you take it on a plane, then this case from StartRC is going to be absolutely perfect for you. Now, if you're looking for a lighter case which is more designed for just general days out, then I've got a review of that coming up in the next couple of days, and I'll put that link up here so you can go and check that out as well. If you do want to purchase it, there is an affiliate link down below in the description. That would be greatly appreciated. It means you still pay the same, but I get a small commission back, and that's going to help me build a channel for new drones and new action cams, that type of thing. So all that remains for me to say is, if you did find it useful, if you could do the like and subscribe thing, that would be great. If you've got any questions in relation to any drones such as the Neo 1, the Neo 2, the Mini 4 Pro, the Mini 5 Pro, or the Hover X1 Pro or Pro Max, then let me know in the comments below. And I'll catch you again in the next few days once my man flu is gone. Thanks very much. Bye.